of course, very keen in information technology. The keynote address is to be presented on the Devfest 2023 at a hotel form of Alabama University, Kano, today. Introduction of the speech. This is an exciting day for me. I'm sure for many of the youth who are here participate actively in this year's festival, the youth who have the ability to network beyond the physical world. No doubt, today, the digital world has assumed the central feature that takes development globally. The computer as an electronic machine has today assumed the role that can solve the problem of this development at local, national, and international levels. Nobody can doubt with the fact that computers are used almost everywhere and for everything. Computer education is therefore essential in not only solving problems of the world, it has become an integral part of the 21st century. Computer education today is one of the main keys to economic development and improvement in human welfare. As global economic competition grows sharper, computer education becomes an even more important source of competitive advantage. Closely linked to economic growth and a way for countries to attract jobs and investment. Nigeria's population growth and development, according to statistical 2023. The population of Nigeria in 2023 is estimated at 223,804,632. That is 2.1% increase over that of 2022. Education in Nigeria, and that is just 18.1, and that's just about 70% of the population of Nigeria is under 30 years. Education in Nigeria is approximately 615, generally for the elementary schools, both primary and junior secondary education. And only 54% in junior secondary schools. Estimates on Nigerian universities give only around 1.8 million undergraduates, students, and 242,000 postgraduate students. These are the only youths that are properly engaged in schools. What happened to the rest, which are the larger majority? An extension of this may be seen from the civil service and economics and former vice chancellor of University of New York, Prof. Akpan Eko, in an interview in July 2023, noted that only about 10 to 15% of Nigeria's working population is in the civil service. Now I can make it clear that Nigerians youth are significantly unemployed. Let's talk about digital technology and its employment. According to the UNCTAD 2017, government around the world was developed strategies on how to deal with the change in the economic and social landscape. The digital technologies are driving new ways of producing and consuming goods and services. The digital transformation implies disruptive changes in business models across sectors, thereby affecting the nature of jobs and skills young people need to successfully have. We have four major categories of production and distribution of goods. One is primary sector, two secondary sector, three tertiary, and four tertiary sector. In the primary sector, this produces raw materials from natural sources, including minerals, oil, gas, silver, and fish. Farm products come from domesticated plants and animals, subject to local soil and climate conditions. Sadly, this is the sector that provides unemployment to most Nigerians. We produce raw materials and we sell them globally without any valuation. Secondary sector. In the secondary sector is the sector of co-production in manufacturing and construction. Extra value and profit often comes from processing the raw materials to make clothes, furniture, food, and drinking products. Components manufacturers are outsourced to other companies in the local areas and later deployed in diverse countries around the world. Today, for example, Boeing aircrafts are assembled in season and Airbus aircrafts in Toulouse, France. But engines, wings, and the tail plates for both Boeing and Airbus are made elsewhere in the Tertiary sector. These are service industries that do not support for the manufacturing companies. Their numbers expanded when government decided to provide and improve the facilities of the countries. The quaternary sector. This is an information-based service that includes legal, financial, media, and internet. The sector emerged as a specialized and highly sophisticated branch of the service sector and was the first concentrated in the cities of materially wealthy countries. Now, of course, many great nations today structure the economy towards the quaternary sector. This especially instructed their youths through the computerized-based internet development. Studies suggest that in many parts of the world, in the coming years, many low and middle skilled jobs will be replaced by automation, will be replaced by advanced manufacturing and 3D printing, will be replaced by robotics, autonomous and transport system, and will be replaced by artificial intelligence. Existing and new high-skilled jobs will therefore be driving innovation and the workforce demand. In Nigeria, we are left to buy services at the telephone, so that the telephone and the internet from South Africa. I wish we can imagine the daily call charges from our cell phones that we spend from our cell phones or handsets that go to South Africa. Imagine how much money is made by youths elsewhere in South Africa only between yesterday and today. Only TV rights because of Premier League, La Liga, and other football leagues in Europe that we watch in only 2 days. Now, let's talk about Devfest 2023 at Devfest University. Devfest 2023 at Devfest University. Now, coming back to our home, in this festival and most especially, I believe that the great aspiration of the organizers of this event, together with the group of experts, here are some of the questions we should be able to raise. Number one, what do we talk about in terms of new hardware devices and other applications in the world? What hands-on demos, collabs, and other software systems are in the market today? What are the latest technologies available today? What are the future trends of the Nigerian labor market in the context of interconnected world today? What policies in Nigeria need to be urgently set in place to respond to the demands of workforce in the digital economy? What partnerships are necessary to make that young people face the digital transformation with the right skill sets? Why is the e-entrepreneurship relevant? These are important questions to find answers, and that is why Government University is so proud to associate with you all. At Government University, we have two computer-based programs. At BSc levels, we have BSc Computer Science and BSc Software Engineering. Our BSc Computer Science program provides students with real-world learning experiences. The program typically offers a wide range of learning resources that cater to different learning styles. These resources may include video lectures, interactive quizzes, coding exercises, and discussion forums where students engage with each other, where students engage with each other and ask questions. These variety of resources ensure that you have multiple avenues for understanding complex scenarios. The DSCs of the Software Engineering at Government University equips you with knowledge and practical skills in design and develop innovative software solutions. Learn what to test to create and integrate complex new computing technologies while exploring existing and emerging ones. Students are given opportunities at Government University to explore areas such as data analytics, machine learning, robotics, intelligent and autonomous systems, and telecommunications. Students will go through these new programs and many other options we have built in the future are going to be focused on innovators, and they are going to be trended a competitive edge in the job market. They will gain hands-on experience and current technologies and current fundamental concepts, models, and methods. They can extend their skills through work business in their focus and see service, which also expose and prepare them for the digital work situations. We also help them avoid discrimination working with the local level means we want to take the opportunity at all times for our students to learn new technologies. With the existing developments and contribute to the open source community. Our aim is to make our students almost everyone is in their own computers. So all serious industries will come
be my gift, which is quickly. Who is Misa? Misa. Is it Misa being misspelled? Somebody tweeted, his name is Misa. Misha, is that you? Please, I so much love your tweets, and I have this for you. That's good. After every speaker, I will look for maybe tweets, and very good tweets, either with highest engagement or beautiful posts or whatever. And there are several criteria in it. Just make sure you're on pass some of them. Anyway, the next person is going to be, or the next speaker is going to be our WTM lead. For the audience of DDG chapters have two arms. The main chapter which comprises of everybody, including the males and females, and then the WTM side, which is for women takers. So this is for all the women that are here in this hall, or that are now and interested in technology. Now, our keynote speech this year is not coming from me, it's not coming from Shea, it's not coming from any unit of this class. It's coming from our WTM in person of Sajjah Muhammad. Let me see Sajjah. Sajjah Muhammad, let us give her. Let us give her a celebration, please.
so much able to understand what the I just to out like magana. Kuma magana na ne kuma duniya akan mata, especially mata. Number one, I'm going to say magana the one again, matsala ga mata shi ne ba ku da mental da nake looking up to. Number two shi ne language. Language. Most of us say na da confidence da za mu magana da za mu faɗa amma language ba a ce dole sai da turanci za ka zo ka presenting ba. In ka ga China ba ya kai turanci. Kuma makarantar suka yi university sai sun maka wannan class da za su gaya da su ko da Hausa. Amma a nan duka mu da Hausa muke magana. Amma na ke duka barrier in ba su na rayuwar da kasa. Ina kullum ina so suna shafan grassroots to mata mu na grassroots, especially the development school. Mun ba wasu da kuɗa suna kula musu abubuwa. Bayan sun ga mutum na da grama ta turanci, wasu da shi ta san me ake cewa. So number two language. Number two confidence in the mu ne iyayen al'umma ya kamata suna da confidence da za mu zai da kuma al'umma. Na taɓa yin magana na saboda fahimtar ina su. So abin da zai yi faɗa kenan. Muna da sashen mata za mu ci gaba da magana. Thank you everyone for coming.
Okay, now, any question? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sakia, for keeping it short. You know, we are reserving it for the week, even though that's who said this? Okay. Our next speaker is going to be another European lead, all the way from Kaduna, all the way. And that person has been a friend to the GDG community, to all tech communities in the ecosystem. But before then, I want to quickly so then we're going to talk about empowering Africa's future, harnessing AI and automation for sustainable development. I want us to give Zainab a standing ovation as she comes toward the stage. I said a standing ovation, as in you stand up and keep clapping for her while she comes toward the stage. Let's appreciate Zainab as she comes to the stage. Please.
I have some few bullet points here, which the first one is infrastructure deficit. Limited access to reliable transport, which is one of the things that we are actually facing now, especially in Nigeria. And we also have the limitation when it comes to energy and also communication. In as much as we are thinking that we are making the 4G communication thing, but believe me, some people are already in the 60s. Some countries are already in the 60s, and there's nothing we can do about that because they have already created that, should I say, environment for themselves to try and continue to push what they are into. We have economic inequality, talks about the income and also wealth distribution contributes to the social and economic challenges, which is personally something that my dear country Nigeria is facing. We have the political instability. Of course, we all know what's happening now. We cannot really vouch for politics when it comes to tech. We cannot even say we can stay at the comfort of our homes to maybe vote or do some certain things politically. Next one is the healthcare access. Till date, we are still facing the manual process of collecting data when it comes to our health hospitals, which is something that by now we should bypass that, or we should not have that. But I can say I have to laugh because I noticed from one of the hospitals that I visited last year, is an air center. I noticed that to get everything computerized, like you just have to say what content, and you just have to just start entering this data into their computer. And yes, so many like big hospitals that we have nowadays, they are doing that. But still, when it comes to those machines that we need for surgeries and all of that, there's always that challenge that we face when somebody is very critical condition in an emergency and you hear that our machine is not working. And this is a very big and standard thing that shouldn't be having such kind of issues because that will affect the life of patients. Then corruption. There's a widespread of corruption because poses a significant obstacle to economic and social progress. All this is all due to the lack of standard technical ways of moving our data, especially, and also how we handle things as a nation. So some of the opportunities that we currently have, I'll start by it. Just like I mentioned, I right from the scratch. And these are one of those guys that really efficient and decided especially on social media. Nowadays, all of social media, he's so consistent with what he's doing. He's doing if you search him on Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere, you will hardly find a personal post on his account. Money automation. So he's one of the guys that I'm really proud of. And when I was in there, I have come across a lot of them. But unfortunately, it was so sick that I can pass that I feel in examine and say they will come away from one barrier and coming to the sound. But still, I can't be like me. I recently noticed that the Nigerian part of NSA, so if you go and wonder, a platform where you can apply. If you want investors to come and you want support from some those to come and angel investors, and you get support what you are. And believe me, that's one of the biggest achievements for me in this state that we have gotten in Nigeria. Because honestly, when especially the young in the street, like me and Anna, it's not extra wonderful. He has met a lot of executive directors or secretaries that we have in Kaduna and some large CEOs that we have in Kaduna. And by now, he has done a lot and is building his first group ever. And that's a very huge achievement for us, especially in Periom. Then the next one is the natural resources, which is the wealth. Abundance natural resources, of course. And like in Africa, why is it in Nigeria where you get it? Yeah, but one kind of killing touch, and nobody. We have them in our country. We have almost everything. But what we are not utilizing it the way we should utilize it. And that's one of our challenges. Actually, an opportunity. But gradually, as time goes on, I'm hoping to see a better that. Then the next one is this innovation, which is the rapid adoption of technology development. Digital innovation, rapid adoption of technology provides opportunities for leapfrogging traditional development stages. Then the next one is support entrepreneurship. Dole sai wani sa sana'a sosai ya zama kamar part of rayuwar mu ne. In har kana da wani basira ko kana da wani abu da kake son ka fitar da shi ma duniya sai it should be something you have already seen it as a business. You should start treating it as a business. The next one is the regional integration. Initiatives like the African continental area promote economic collaboration. Use the Devfest GDG here that we have as also one. This is actually a space where you can find a lot of high caliber. And one of the things I will urge us all to do is not to be this place without getting in touch with somebody that you don't know anytime, but just to get try as much as possible to network and network and network. That's the biggest secret to whatever success you are looking for. One of the top key areas where AI automation can make a transformative impact. For example, the first one I have is the healthcare sector. If only we can have our health promoted in such a way that we don't have to cry, we don't have to lament or rant because a particular country is done due to our own negligence. I know what you said, but it's just the word that comes out of my mouth right now. But I would just say that sometimes having a very too much to but it's about one location having a let's push it. Of course, the masses are going to accept it when they see that actually for their best. Then we have the drug discovery. AI as an enriched drug discovery by analyzing vast data sets, predicting potential candidates and optimizing such processes. Okay. For this drug discovery, I'm going to that a code in the academy lockdown. Now, often like we have to cure for it. We are saying that why are they saying and then from the religious side, we all feel like I not but why are they promoting this sickness? Why are they promoting it? We all have those questions in our mind and we keep feeling like we are trying to just get their way out of it. Just get some cash out of it. But unfortunately, those sectors that really need our high concern and our high contribution into. Last year, then we have the manufacturing and industry. An example is the robotics. Okay, automation in manufacturing processes improves the efficiency and the precision and also the output. Then the next one is predictive maintenance. We have the AI can predict equipment failures, enabling proactive maintenance and reducing downtime. So definitely, I feel a non-common robot automation in the entire person at the detecting. You don't want to have a vehicle, or you don't want to have machine detecting there's a failure, or maybe something is really wrong with that machine. For those that watch, let's say,
technical kind of movie or action kind of movie. That would be related to one of that one of the machine and detective for maybe more time and you know that action that way I tell you the tendency of this car failing crashing is 99 sorry 80% or 7% like and that's the person that he should be cautioned with whatever he's doing. Extreme now. Then we have the agriculture, which is the position of farming and also crop monitoring. We now have the rules, of course, that detect when a particular farm is in need of water, or is in need of fertilizer, or is in need of maybe cultivation or harvesting. We have all those automation. Well, not because you just have to be at your comfort zone, just checking it on your computer, and you just be saying, okay, so now my farm is in need of this. It's also this to cultivation. It's also this to harvesting. Some countries are already gone past that stage, but high countries are yet to accept such kind of things in Nigeria, and that's so it. Now, in terms of education, this I can say I think that we have really started to embrace this. We have a lot of learning, LMS, that's learning management systems around now that you can use maybe for your schooling, especially for students, where it's stuff like a database, where you can just get your learning materials from, pay your school fees, and all of that, and maybe monitor your performance and so on. So you don't have to focus, the lecturers, for example, they don't have to focus too much on monitoring almost everything that has to do with, let's say, their students anymore. Maybe they just focus on teaching. We already have the way they can get their lesson notes. We already have that. We already have that information whereby the grade of the students can be done just by 1, 2, 3 things, and they are done with that. So all they have to focus on now is just the teaching and just coming to deliver to the audience. And that's one thing that particularly I've been using, or should I say my place of work is using. So we don't have to worry that much about delivery or how can we manage the entire student and all of that. So they're going to be focusing on that. Then that one goes there and also set this up in the case that makes sense. Then we have finance and banking. And I think the was saying when CBN just going with that Naira policy that they can manage. Even though I'm still surprised to see that China is moved back to government of Biden with it, but it's going to be more effective by December. So all this are just kind of ways to ensure that we are embracing this tech and we are really putting it into practice. And up to that, I am shortage of cash. But asal yang dah sekarang transfer, sebab ni macam ni sikit ni. Hak apa yang saya sekarang ni was si start kita sebenarnya ni yang baik. Walaupun kita gaya sahaja Indonesia, because kullum kan ada yang jual ni. So we just have to embrace the fact that we have to go forward. And also customer service now we don't have to. Sometimes some of these banks you don't have to really go to the bank. They can just use your phone to live. Then we have the sustainable development in Africa, which is just short definition that I brought there. My slide will be available if you need to read on that. I am just one that I have a few minutes, so I will just rush through it. So we have the role of AI in sustainable development, and I have mentioned some of this, which is the healthcare, agriculture, education, financial inclusion, infrastructure development, climate change. And we have creation, language processing, and also the language processing for local context, which is something that I am a huge advocate for. I love to see content. Something you can all say super government schools. 80% of these government schools, they all deliver house standard because that's the language of the students understand. And they are the whole while and they will receive questions in English. How do you expect them to answer have to find ways to assist them so that you say that your center has passed. Then bridging the digital dividend. We have the infrastructure development, digital literacy programs. We have the affordable technology access, government policy and incentive, community engagement, like we have a certain year of the GDG. And we have which I really want to talk about, the rent of sharing. Okay, I'll just say that. There were some of the challenges that we have for the ethical consideration and also the job displacement and other related issues. Some of our future prospects have the metaverse, the metaverse is here, but not fully here in Nigeria. We have the AIT, we have the biotechnology, renewable energy, quantum computing, and also space exploration, digital technology, cybersecurity, innovation, cities, and IoT, and biometrics. What sectors we are already there, we are already into them, and we are making the right waves into it. So when I started to be here, and I said I would share why I decided. So really because the first community engagement that I ever attended, like when I started my whole community program, was happens to be that of GDG. That was like 6 years ago. And what happened then was that I just got the news that there's this Devfest happening, and a friend of mine was just encouraging, okay, please go, because it just feels like it's something that I am behind with. And that was 6 years ago. Let's go all the way from that very day. I don't know why I love just coming to the same day and going back the same day. So that's all they attended. There was this speaker, I think it was the WTM of that time. She was talking and she was saying, ladies, really matter, the matter was so special. And then she went on the ground because she was trying to ginger the ladies to actually come and embrace the tech journey and all of that, but the ladies were not answering to her. And I understand that really well because as of that time, that was like 2017 and 2023, you cannot even compare because that is someone to shake away. The basic has there and the show of matters to those who say that compared to that. But another say I was there as a member, alhamdulillah, today I'm standing as the WTM Kaduna and also a mentor for the ambassadors for Nigeria and also the assistant program manager for the science Nigeria. And those have been my achievement for the past 6 years and more of that. So I would like to encourage the ladies here, please embrace the tech. One wonderful thing about the guys, they are always willing to assist us and guide us. And they have been the ones supporting me personally, and I gain a lot from them. So basically, that's all I have. If there's any question, I will be here.
All right, thank you very much. Now, let us give her another giant round of applause, please. Okay, we are getting out of time. You will be amazed if I tell you that every speaker is giving a time slot of 10 minutes. So let us, even if it will be difficult to stick to it, but let's try as much as we can so that this will not fall out of hand. The next speaker is very hot. I'm not going to mention until when I resolve this. Well, who is that chocolate? Peter, who is that chocolate? He is not, oh, he is not here. Are you? Okay. Who is Sadiq Abdul-Rashid Bello? Sadiq Abdul-Rashid Bello? Remain seated so that we'll save time. And who is, that chocolate again? Who is Oloko Bonfire? Oloko Bonfire. tweets. The next thing I will take is going to be Facebook, inshallah. So your swag is coming your way in the city. So the next thing, as I said, is the hot one, which is I'm not introduce him because most of you know him, and those that don't are going to get to know him when he comes to the stage. It is going to be in person of Mr. President Dr. Jamilu Galadi. He also got a standing over, please. Let's appreciate the stage.
Good morning, everyone, and when I got the invitation to speak, I'll be honest with you, I spent days thinking about what topic should I talk about. Knowing that I'm in front of highly technical and talented individuals. And one topic has not been talked about in previous events, but that's click away on the cloud. Just one night, that time of the night, when that night of code you change for weeks, will just appear. Or that ball that has been chopping your food for a long time will just appear, then your sleep will just disappear completely until you wake up and check something on. That's the same time, and idea came to me like wisdom, and I saw an image of us here, just like we have now. People aspects of tech and full of ideas. And then I realized what better problem to discuss than this very same topic here. A lot of us have ideas, and what a coincidence we followed just after the previous speaker. We have a lot of ideas, but the size of the tech space bewilders us. There are so many opportunities that we get confused which route to take. How big the tech space is, but yet it can be very contracting, especially when that can be nurtured for years, all of a sudden fall apart. That's when you will feel the entire space of tech feels like that four corners of your room, or even narrower than that. But make no mistake that this same tech space can be very generous, can give you more than you bargain, and this is another point that the previous speaker talked about. Can give you more than you expect, but at the same time, it can be very brutal, and I have to be honest with you too. Because it can suck all your investments and all your capital and leave you with nothing. We've seen how many of giant tech companies even have gaps of applications that have never made it market. Because those ideas either before they were implemented, all of a sudden they realized it was the wrong idea. So for the young ones, including myself, my chair, still young, I feel that it's important that we understand the dynamics of the space. And luckily, I can see in the front row some other people that can share the same experience because they have worked their way through that hustle and ups and downs and have started to harness those efforts and will clearly understand what it takes to navigate from just an idea to an innovation. Because we should start to understand that this whole innovation that we're doing in tech, aside the passion, it's supposed to be a source of wealth and a source of job employment. So if your idea just starts and ends with an innovation that you present at events like this, or you keep in your room, then that's not making the impact that we need it to make. We need innovations that will employ and that will increase the wealth of not only our local environment, but the national or international space. So like I said, it starts with ideas. And I'm sure if I will go one by one, every one of us here has a lot of ideas in their mind. And in those ideas, you have one particular one that, looks really fancy to you, sounds unique, and most importantly, I know the tech guys like challenges. It sounds complex enough to work on, because no one else can. That's how it starts. So that unique idea now will present a very complex looking innovation that you feel that this work and what gives you next, you start building. Now this is where the problem is. What approach is wrong? The idea is great, the goal is fascinating, but the approach is wrong. How long will it take this idea to finish this product? By the time it gets to the end, or probably the grand song gets to the end, who has moved on? And that's what I was telling you. The text is quite impressive. Where is BlackBerry? Where is Nokia 3310? It's a mahogany problem. Some of us don't even know it. I remember when TUI, that song came out, people were putting it on the neck. It was a fashion to put a TUI. It's a Samsung feature phone, not even a smartphone. At that time, it cost 8,000 to buy one. They are all gone now. We are just talking about a day. So any idea, no matter how fascinating it is, if it takes you too long to build, then you are already in problem. Now, what's the right approach? People will be wondering, does those innovations just drop? No, it doesn't. The right approach has two components: the reviewing and designing part, and the implementation part. And we'll talk about that in details. But see what it takes to review an idea. It takes a team, gentlemen. And that team is not only tech people. And you've got to build an idea about business. If there's no business group on that team, then the idea is already a very big problem. You need to identify the right people. And it doesn't have to be you recruiting. It's you sharing the ideas, because one good thing, one power of the tech people is if they have an innovation that they believe in, then they will be able to convince others that this is a good idea. So bringing the right people, convincing them of your idea, and having them challenge your thoughts, and making changes to the idea is what the reviewing phase does. Any idea, innovation that doesn't go through this, plus, of course, there are exceptions, but the majority of them will fail. The biggest speaker talked about how innovative our people are. People building their own drones. I went to one of these gatherings, and I met a very young, talented individual that was actually building his own programming language. But what business company or which businessman would actually take that as a business opportunity and be able to get investors? And that's what I'm talking about. As fascinating as ideas can be, they have to be reviewed to sound, or at least to look viable enough as and investment. And when it comes to implementation, the team even gets bigger. And that's the whole idea of open source, right? Why do I even have to build the idea myself? I've done the hard work. I'll just push it to the community and let them build the idea for you. And then with those business gurus around you and the business analysts and the technical peers, they will be able to shape the concept in a way that even though it is an open source, it will still generate revenue even more than it could if it was an enterprise or a proprietary solution. Now, during that reviewing and designing phase, what I mentioned is we are just trying to validate the idea. Is it worth investing? And these are the key components or key points that you need to do when you are reviewing your idea. You have to identify the problem. If there is no problem, then why do we need a solution? And sometimes we are very creative to even create the problem, right? Like the people creating the virus and then developing the antivirus. This is a good business. So even if there is no problem, I'm not saying that you should do that bad. There are enough problems that you don't need to create more. But what you could do is, there are problems that people are ignoring. A friend of mine was telling me he went to an office, he's in the cleaning business, and it was a huge office, and he saw the business opportunity. He talked to the guy and he said, "Oh, we are cleaning, we don't need a company, our cleaners are doing it." He said he made sure before he left the office, he showed him some dirt that were nasty enough for him to think twice about the cleanliness of his office. And he got the contract to start cleaning the office. So sometimes the problems are there, you have to identify the problems in the community. And that's part of the ideation phase. And then you do your market research. Not every viable solution will bring you the revenue you need, because it needs to survive. Even last week, I was watching the news, I saw that Brazil are shutting down. For goodness sake, after millions of investment, they are still crying about no more investors or no more donations. Why would I work on an idea? Of course, there are exceptions, and they must have done their homework right. But what I'm saying is, why would you work on an idea that would consistently require donations and more investment? Your idea should be robust enough to start generating and to start attracting those investors without even asking of them to come. It's a difficult route, it takes time, but when you get it right, trust me, it does work. And because of time, we have talked about a number of examples. And once you do your market research and understand that this idea is worth pursuing, then you cannot agree on what is the minimum viable product put out there. A lot of us make mistakes. You keep your innovation in your room or within your team until it gets to the full specification. It doesn't work that way in tech. Because by the time it comes out, there are lots of assumptions that the team, no matter how big the team is, no matter how professional they are, there are a lot of gaps that they might have missed. A lot of features that should have gone in. So that early feedback from society, from the community, is what helps the solution at the end of the day to the exact replica of what the people are expecting, or even better than that. So make sure you have the minimum viable product ready before you start development, and make sure you wait until you finish the entire product before that product comes out. Some products at the MVP level, they don't get completely transformed to something else based on the feedback that the community are giving them back. So like I said, the ideation phase, validate the problem. Don't just rely on your assumption of few people, do your survey, make sure that that problem is a generic problem, not just isolated problem that affects only a few, that will not be able to give you the revenue you need to sustain that innovation. So do your market research, and this is where sometimes research people or marketing people come into play, because you cannot just the technical people to validate that idea. And then, analyze your competitors. You don't want to wait until you get to the ring. When you analyze your competitors, it's when you gather like this gentleman here. And we urge you to watch the complete video and do the exact what I did. Please don't go developing an app that is just a subset of Google or a subset of Facebook. See people say I'm developing a messaging chat function. For fun or for revenue. And we tend to misunderstand technology. Of course, there's fun, there's passion. But I keep saying it should be a source of wealth and opportunities. Not just you build it and put it on social media. And those people, some of them are even just passing by, they like it. If you ask them what was it, they didn't know. And we're here excited that people are liking your innovation. You're being deceived, gentlemen. That time you spend hours of the night is not worth just a night. Right? So please validate the idea, understand your competitors, make sure that you have a chance in the tech space or in the market before you start investing your time and money on it. That's why the tech industry is getting more and more reliant on donations, and it can be so sustainable. Even the donors want something in return. Identify the opportunities to differentiate your own problem and make it unique. And like I said, define your MVP. You want to build a Rolls Royce, you can start with the one door, right? And then put it out in the market, hear what people have to say about the performance, about the looks and feel of the product, and then come back so that by the time you get to the final product, you have made all the changes. We all know in this space, you must possibly change the change when behind the production. So you want to make all those changes at a cheaper level, which is at the design phase or development phase. You don't want the clients to catch the problems on the box for you. You rather have it dealt with within the team. So you determine your 4 features, what you want to achieve. You select the key ones that are important and advertise based on that requirement. And by the way, these are not evidence. You are building a car, you take away and then a lot of people make it's not MVP. Unfortunately, we can't do that about features. But both these two are MVPs. So building a car, but then you have a skate or scooter. That's what I'm MVP. Right from the beginning, your MVP should resemble your final product, but just the minimum features and minimum requirements. You identify the MVP when you are ready now to move from. This is where the review and design phase stop. But we all know that software development is an agile system, right? So what I mean by it's not here, at least the first phase is done. You will always come back after feedback, after other, go back to design and make some changes. But at this time now, I'm moving to the implementation. Ready to start implementing it. But you can't work alone. You need a team. And that this sounds too much to ask, especially for qualified. But what I'm saying is, even if you don't have enough team to have those individual roles, make sure there is someone responsible for that role. one key role we used to ignore in our software development, and not even in startups. I'll give you an example, and I don't know if we have staff from GT Bank. We've seen the trouble they went through with their mobile applications. One key role in software development is quality assurance. If you don't test, if you don't have someone outside the people that are developing the code to honestly and brutally tell you that this is not working and this is wrongly implemented, then you're in trouble, because one day a customer will tell you that. There's another one here that I had to do a whole QA documentation for them and subject to them. I thought I was waiting for a checkpoint. They actually use it. Because even in their security check, aside the password, if you're exceeding a certain limit, you are supposed to enter another code. I was entering different type of codes to enter, but it was going through. And they didn't know it was working. So sometimes that quality check can cost a life. It can cost the entire company. Because if that whole innovation, after investment, it crashes and customers leave, and the investors take back their money, then the company is gone. And you know what that means. People will lose their jobs, and some people will get hypertension. So please pay attention to quality. Don't go in a rush to put out as much as I say that's aggressive. You need to make sure you can do them. But at the same time, make sure you have someone who can quality check. So you can have the project manager pay the quality assurance engineer. But you can have one user that you can promise 0.01% of the share and making the quality assurance engineer. And you're not able to do some technical in-depth checks, but at least you will give you that feedback that a user will ordinarily give. We have other roles here, and this is a whole topic of its own. But just that once you are in to start your development, you do some research and understand what the team should constitute. Treat your team as a surgery team. No matter how good the surgeon is, if there is no nurse, clinicians, you will end up killing the patient. That's the same thing that is happening to most of our innovations. We build and we kill the innovations by ourselves because we are refusing to have the right team to do the right process. So don't kill your software by yourself because you are ignoring the expertise of other team members. And then this comes to the fun part, right? This is where the whole check thing starts. Identify the right programming language. And when another problem with this is whenever you have a new technology, there is that vibe, right? In social media. Everyone now is moving to that technology. Please do that when you are just playing around in your mind. But when it comes to starting off an innovation, focus on what will work. Keep things simple and basic. And think about the maintain in the future. Don't go start in 5 technologies. What you can still do the whole end-to-end product with a high jump, which we don't just go back and from there. Don't go putting React in this component, building one app. You are building an Android app, you're building an iOS app. Why don't you just make a Google app, right? That works for everything. So please don't rush. Even if it means you sitting back learning a new technology that is the most befitting for your solution, do that. Because when you come to maintenance, it's not easy, and you're not building these solutions just for yourself or during your own lifetime. You want them to keep scaling up. Where's Steve Jobs now? He's not around, but Apple is even bigger than it used to be. Those days, we used to know that Apple will go when Steve Jobs is gone. Right? But I wouldn't even know who came up. Because the whole innovation was built to scale up and to be sustainable. That's the whole idea. So if you just focus on one technology, you will be have with that technology for years. But even though this guy was absolutely no one C programming, except when you go to probably the British Airways are still using C function 77. Now, but they are still using it in their simulations. So sometimes they say if things work, then don't change them. Think about your pipeline, how you want to be, deploying your code, how you want to be collaborating, where you want to deploy, all that decisions is good before you start development. I think as a protocol, as a user guide, every team member must adhere to. So you sit on the table, not sort of a workshop, so everybody understands this is how we want to go about building the team. Don't leave your solution in one person's hand. And they are seeing the problem with Microsoft, right? It's hacking, they have to bring you back. Don't do that, because if there is no system, there is no protocol, then one person will do things his own way, and when he wants to hold you ransom, he will take everything, and you will be able to negotiate in a very brutal way. So keep things systematic. If it means consulting someone, an expert, to come and set up the framework, agree on things, do the architectural design, and leave, it's still more the process. And once you have that, then you can start building, getting feedback, and then you keep engaging from this basic value looking vehicle, and you keep going up, incrementing slowly, right? So you get to where you want to as an MVP, and then you put it out there. I know this is not a comfortable zone for most of 10 people, the business side. You want a donor to give you money. All those NGOs you are seeing making a lot of money from the donors. Or you want investors to come and invest in your solution. They can't go into your brain and see what you are thinking. You have to put a business model. And this is something that we don't like doing. And there are a lot of business IT experts out there that will be willing to do it for a very low cost or just to be part of the team. But you need at least an ARPU to show to the user, or to show to the donor, or to the investor that this is what we are expecting in so years. And you'll be surprised, because the whole business space now is choked up. Technology is taking most of it away, but our business people are not carrying along because we don't do this. I mean, a lot of our business people will say, I'm happy to invest in those kids, those magicians, that's what they say, right? But I don't understand what they're doing. And what they're doing is Google, and then Google says, I'm not like you mentioned Google. Seeing all those problems that are local to us, and they are building it. Which means if they are building it, Google will be happy to partner with you to buy it over. Because you have the data, you are in the local environment. And that's what it is. When I went to Facebook workshop for fancy insurance engineers in Lagos, and by the way, it was not so like because I'm one from the and they asked us to go through a sprint to find bugs, and decided to focus on only Hausa. And the time elapsed, which was 2 hours, without exhausting the bugs in the Hausa language. And we also do the same, check the Hausa version of Facebook. Why is that? Because there is no one here and validate information with the business. So they are accusing someone that they don't even know this way. Do the outside translation. So sometimes you focus on the small problem and then gear up business model appropriately so that you can ensure the people with the money, you have the technical know-how, but you need other people to understand that there is a profit and there is a future in what you're building. And once you do that, you can now start going out to package donors, to investors, to partners, and to users. And this simple model can help you. You have a product, you have a price, you decide how you're going to promote it. The previous speaker is funding the local, you can always talk about that again. So you can bring that in to your team, and then you agree on the roadmap, or rather, where you want to website to space. You can the engineer yourself, that's space in the business, health, education, and we have one very great friend of ours here that focus on it. And then the important part, right? You have to take that because you cannot be a great technical or software engineer if you're not learning. Otherwise, your ideas, your skills will all be obsolete, and then you go back to social media to tell any productive solution. So gather feedback from users, adapt your product to the changes happening in the field, and remain agile. Always willing to accept changes and implement them on your solution if you validate those changes to be what you need. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very, very much. Let me just narrate a simple story. I used to be an electrical engineering student, but at number 5, I had the option to choose computer engineering. Just one course, computer engineering. I did, actually, and the very person that took me that course was, should I say professor now? We call him Dr. Bashir Galaganchi. That's Dr. Bashir Galaganchi. As this gentleman speaks, I was like recalling how that gentleman was speaking. He is the father of this person. I benefited a lot from him. From that course, I switched a career. Please let us appreciate, let's give a giant round of applause to, not this one now, Dr. Bashir Galaganchi. Please, because of that person that I switched a career from electrical to, anyway. So, please, I have an ask. Whoever wants to go out, do so or don't do so while a speaker is speaking because you are distracting the whole thing. Maybe right now that we have a transition, you will go out. And if you do, while another speaker is speaking, you will not be allowed to come in until when he finishes. Alternatively, we have another room exactly similar to this. And they are every year being streamed in the other room. So you're going to, by the time you decide to go out, definitely you are going to join the other room. You are not joining because you are going to be because you are being punished. No, you are not being punished. Okay? The people in the other room acknowledge your presence. We know that you are there, and we believe we are with you 100%, the same way we communicate with everybody here. Okay, so that's about that. The next speaker is going to be the Indian guy, Mr. Abdulrahman Suleiman. He used to be an active TDG lead, and then he had his chapter, and then he traveled to some countries and learned Indian accent, and then he's like us, and he's more technical, more equipped, more prepared, hotter than he used to be. So Abdurrahman Suleiman is going to speak on thriving as a software engineer, building a rewarding career. I'm looking forward to a very hard tech talk. Sorry, not TikTok, tech talk. Okay? But these are sometimes though very, very educative and beneficial. So please let us appreciate Abdurrahman Suleiman as comes to the stage. Abdurrahman Suleiman. Let's appreciate Abdurrahman. Let's give Abdurrahman Suleiman a standing ovation. Stand up and we appreciate. Sorry, Abdurrahman Suleiman is not of us, okay? And as I narrated, you're going to hear from him, but let us give him a standing ovation. It will only take you 15 seconds to stand up. Clap for Abdurrahman and sit down. Let's start it now. Abdurrahman Suleiman, you're welcome to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Is that morning? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I can see our software engineers. It's our festival, okay? So every another day they will say World Bank Day, World Girl Day, World blah blah day. So this is officially not a destination, and a finish is just a pause before the next update. You can see, you remember when the Google first launched, or when you first used the Google, then it was simple page, just go and ask something. But right now, you can search with a voice, you can search with image, you can do a lot of things, and they never get to reach that destination. Because the new one at the end is not reaching a destination, it's a journey. You start somewhere, you keep moving, and endlessly. Today's AI, tomorrow who knows when it's coming. It will never get to end. So this is part of our life. In short, software development is a life. We need to learn how to do that thing. Because like that feeling, most people be feeling that, hey, I start and I will be ending. Oh, this is the dream. My dream is to land a job in Facebook or in that thing. Or my dream is to build this kind of software. It never gets stopped there. The moment you reach that thing, you will start another mission. So that is how it is. So let's understand the software engineering. So the other speaker talks about how the process after the idea, because my talk is all about the implementation. I'm not talking about the ideation. I'm only talking about the software engineering part of it. Please understand the software. It is not always about the developer, because there is all this motion. Somebody will be thinking that if I get a developer, a WordPress developer, or a web developer, he can build me all I needed. That is not true. It's a process, and it has a lot of roles and responsibility, and each role has a responsibility that must be good at engineering managers, we get some programmers, we get some supervisor, we get some marketing manager, we get people that are contributing to the SDLC, that is software development life cycle. So it is not one person, it is a lot of people or teams effort. So we have to understand each role and its responsibility. Then we now have to see the key skills required for each role. Each role requires a specific skills. If you are a QA tester, you have to learn how to test happy scenario and negative scenarios. If you are a software developer, you have to write how to write a quality code. If you are a product designer, you have to think how do you build a digital product. So it is a process or it's a team that we have to understand, and we have to understand each and every person's responsibility. The other part is the life cycle of the software development. So it is not going to be from Z to A. It has a process from A to Z. So first you have ideation, which my other speaker talked about that. So there is a fundamental life cycle that has to follow before a software evolves or before you get to attain software a workable system. Also, there is an impact of that engineering into what we do, because the essence of software engineering is to automate a process. Okay? Without software engineering, think about it. During the Industrial Revolution, people are working, people are doing a lot of stuff. There is a lot of buildings, there is a lot of industry, there is a lot of processes. Software to automate those processes. So you need to understand that you are not bringing something new, but either you are automating an existing process. Also, you have to understand the current trends and the future, because the software that you build today might not work tomorrow. So you have to be thinking about the future. How about the scalability? How about the future use case of this software? So let's look. Another thing, or one of the things that you should focus on is the technical skill mastery. So, they used to say, jack of all trades, master of none. Is that correct? Who believes with me? Jack of all trades, master of none. Okay. So, few people. All right. So but one thing I strongly believe is that you have to be master in one skill at a first. Okay, you have to be master at one skill. Because I'm such kind of person that really, I'm not boasting, but I'm really trained like a soldier in software engineering, because I get a lot of mentors that mentored me, and they did not talk me about framework or how the Joomla working or how the WordPress working or how this, but rather they taught me about the concept, the fundamental of software engineering. And this is something I wanted to impart on you, because at the end of the day, you will be recognized with that skill that people know about you. And people can confidently say that if I had this name, if I hear this name, he knows this name. You have to create that brand. And you know that I know what knows technology around the Microsoft technologies. So this is one thing that you have to build with yourself. You have to have an in-depth programming knowledge. Take one programming language knows about it, not only the syntax or the semantic, but the in-depth, how this thing is working, how this down to the compiler, how this thing is working. If I write this kind of variable, why do they store in the memory? Think of it, how do I expose it which means another server how to talk to your system. There's a lot of things going on. So you have to learn, you have to have an idea where your system plays in the big picture. Also, you have to have understanding to the algorithm and data structure. This is very, very important because all you're doing in the programming is manipulating the data. It's either you are collecting data, transforming the data, or you're doing the data. That's all. It sounds as simple as that, but it's very complex as it would be. So you have to have a very good understanding of algorithm and that tried remote problem we are writing. Then the other thing is keeping up with the new programming languages and models. So this is very important because as you grow, you have to be looking for a productive way or ways to be productive. So you have to be learning the new trend, any line of code to just write a data and setup. In C# you will just have it as oh, why in another language you can just have it like a box or something like that. So you have to be following with the trends as far as you learn one language, then transferring that skill to another will be seamless as you can see. So the other essential skill is the soft skill. Okay. Now, hey JG, you are technical, you are expert, but you have to learn how to interact with others. It's important because you are not going to be mingling with systems alone. You will be mingling with humans. You will be talking to the HR. You will be talking to the colleagues. You will be talking to the product designer. You will be communicating with a lot of people who understand the requirement. So it's very, very important when you are building your career to learn lots of skills. Because there is these trends I'm seeing with my generation, especially Gen Zs, that they think that their knowledge is everything. They are the hot people in the market, and they seem to be, I don't know what I can describe it, but really the trends is not good, and the soft skills in Gen Zs is really not great. And it's one of the things that any business owner or any engineering leadership will be telling you about this company. You will be calling to call somebody to come to the stand-up 8 o'clock and he will tell you, I'm not interested in that. Or you will be asking someone, why did you not join stand-up yesterday? And he will say, I'm not doing that. Just like that, he's not taking it like as a responsibility or as a contract that he signed that he will be respected. So we really need to be because it will not allow us to grow as a community, grow as a industry or as a business. So fixing this essential skill is really, really important. You have to understand and learn the communication and teamwork. Be a team player. But actually, I have many leaders in this IT industry. They will be telling you that I rather have someone who is mediocre and has a great essential or has a great soft skill because there is every potentiality who attitude and his behavior are because throughout the team Four tips I used to be doing my day with. One, if I start my day, I will check all the tasks that I'm looking to do. I will do this simple math, okay? The first task is this, okay? Is this urgent? So this is the two things you will put. The things that are important and urgent, do them right away. Just start doing them, okay? Things that are important and are urgent, do them. Things that are only important and not urgent, prioritize. Put them in priority. Things that are not urgent and not important, don't do them. Don't do them. Just don't waste your time. Things that are not urgent, not important, don't do them. Whoever asks you to do, don't do. Don't do. Ask you to do, I'll do it. Move on. So you have to know all this kind of productivity tips. So this is how you put yourself. Like each task in the day is important and urgent to it. It is important and is not urgent, put it in priority. Okay? If it is urgent, which one will be this? It's supposed to be both. Urgent and important, urgent not important, not urgent and important. Who can tell the last one?
Not important and urgent.
Come again?
Not important and urgent.
Not important and urgent. Delegate. Don't do it. Delegate. Delegate someone to one thing. Okay? Don't waste your time. So these are the important things you should put in your career. The other one is creativity and adaptability. Okay? You have to be very creative in whatever you're doing. Okay? In your own domain, be creative. Ensure that you find a way to do things in a different. Not that you do it differently from the way it's supposed to be done, but do it in your own style. It's really important. So, as we are navigating through the career, one thing that we have to Windows XP. I know how to manage printers. I know how the Windows XP works. Do you think it's employable? Huh? Nobody cares about those things anymore. But in 90s down to 2000s, those are hot skills in the market. But nowadays are not about that. So you have to have education as the key. You can check the formal, education, formal BSc, MSc, whatever you do. It's very important. So you have to keep education. You have to keep doing the education. Because I see a lot of times people will say that nowadays you don't need a degree. Have you heard of that word? You don't need a degree. You don't need a BSc. You don't need all those stuff. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm seeing a lot of that trends. But one thing I finally education. And strongly believe getting an all education is very good. If you can see Mark Zuckerberg or some people are coming up, I'm very sure that people are university. So you have to make sure that you get the education. It's very important. It's very, very important. And teach you not only the mathematics, even the substance, because you're in a classroom of 100, up to 1,000. So this is what I mean. You can use a lot of time. Those books, all those books you can use them and learn a lot of things. And they are available as 200 figures so that you think about it. Yeah, how the business that you're trying to get. Then you can also use webinars, workshops, and stay confident with the industry trends and technology that is also key. So at least you should stay informed about those tools and trends. Don't say that I'm not interested in those things. I'm not saying just go and start implementing them in your portfolio. Stay informed. Stay informed. Know about that. It's very important. It's very important. At least know that there's this new technology coming to the market. Know that it's no ChatGPT. Know that there is this technology and it's doing this kind of thing. It's good to get to know about those things. Career development strategy. One of the things that we need to do in our career development is building a professional level. I said that your network is your network. It's really important to build this network. And I'm sure I can even talk about others people talk about networks. It's really important. Personal branding in the traffic industry. As I said previously, build your personal brand. People know me, you don't know me, Microsoft. I was even fascinated. Someone told me, and a police told me and was saying that he's in Kano, because this company is building this infrastructure, was looking for your network, and he could only find me in LinkedIn. Say he go charge the developer in Kano now. And every time he did this, I keep okay. And he has no option to give me that. So build that brand. Build that brand. It's really important. It's really important. Then I'm getting to the job market and career opportunities. Find a job, have 2 3 years of out with this so my second to last slide is opportunities. It's important. Changes are you cannot go to the there. Okay, for sure, there is a lot of common connections with software engineers. Like, like which is the deadline? This is one of the things that keep us deadline. We have to do that. Now we are approaching December. A lot of deadlines, a lot of complexity. Those are the common things we used to be every day. So you have money. You can never get away from that challenges. So manage them well. Then you have to have a strategy managing life, work-life balance. So don't get a machine. All the level skills, good attitude, okay? Build this great attitude, okay? Please try to create work-life balance. Work will never get there. Never be 100% perfect. Try your best. Try your best and have a work-life balance. Okay? Saturday going to your life. Saturday going to your life. Go to conferences, meet with people, appreciate what God has given to you, so you will be always positive. Always work without balance. I don't think it will be productive. You will be burning out easily. You will be burning out. So you is taking out burnout. So whenever you burn out, how do you do? Will you be starting to let's say just go an email. I think last 2 weeks, one of my colleagues that is working with Microsoft, just decided to make suicide. Who knows what he think of? But I think the finding their employer is as a result of technical power. So at the time somebody will think that this problem woman also keep doing that again and again. You can let that 1 hour over time. And if you do not manage it well, what will be? What will be? A lot of people try to commit suicide because they disconnect themselves from the woman. They always do machine, calls, so please find one. So I will close this case with this place, okay? It's really interesting. It's one of the things that keep my name. It says, verily, God love if any of you does a job, does it with perfection. And Proverbs verse 6. What this gives me every day, in every work I do, because some people are telling me this in life. But I am so fascinated about perfection and getting stuff done accordingly. I said, because it's just inbuilt in my beliefs that when I'm doing any job, I have to do it to my best. It's not saying that you have to do it to the perfect, to your best perfection. Do it best and do and get the best. Thank you so much. When was out of time, I will skip my social media engagement, social media exercise, and I will post straight to the next speaker. And this person is going to be, as I said, those of you going out, when you are coming back, just go in the next room, going to the current speaker missions. Okay? The next speaker is going to be person of okay, good and enthusiastic member of the community who is mentioned what a white hat, let's say a red hat, a black hat. Okay, they are security conscious people. And I believe that you are going to be a different person. Check me out. Joshua, let's appreciate Joshua as he comes to us.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, Joshua, found out what yeah, I was curious. Briefly, for security. So, earlier, we always had this traditional way of things, right? Aside as we see that we have something like Periom, but zero. I think a lot of people try to have security, especially as an expert, right? But immediately a lot of things going on that, right? So I know one way or another, what about that was security issues, was attack or something more. Instagram hierarchy, a lot of things like that. But Solar is the opposite. what the end users that's here, rather from company side. So when you add this slice now, we are looking about sales. We have the IT security teams, we have others who are here, we have cities, we have individuals, and then IT security teams. Okay, so we have different layers to deal with, and then you have designers. So maybe one of your best employees fired probably because of one or two issues, but that was already knows a lot about your company. So and that's one of the reasons why I see lots of these issues. You know, someone just received me like, oh, 20 million or 10 million pounds for our account. Then let's say you receive an alert of where we drop 10 million. So how is that possible? Someone like I don't even know how the bank architecture works, right? I don't know about the security of the system. I don't know how this works. But how does this work? So with like this, that's how they say a lot of your all these things happening, right? And let's understand how your systems are being designed, how everything is happening in place. But someone inside that, that's how they're able to get there. So when you look at security, it's a form of cat and mouse games, right? So we have an attacker approach, and then we have a defender approach. So attackers usually use any means of your security, like social engineering, phishing, malware, and so on, right? So that's one of the ways. What they just do is just a simple place, right? So you got earlier because sometimes just want Mr. Yusuf working from GT Bank and so on, right? Earlier before you see some people providing this information. But as time goes on, what happens? Everybody has money and okay, no, this is fraud. Then as time goes on, they can send you an email, probably maybe like GT Bank, you know, they add another entity, right? So when you see that specific thing, the email is coming from GT Bank. Why someone has been sending away and do that? So and then look at the dependence. So from the dependence side, in a company or an organization, you have different things, right? You have the penetration side, you have the QA, you have the SOC, and lots of other things, right? So what are they trying to do? They are trying to scale organizations. So the problem is at the end of the day, you might invest lots of money in your security policy, like your robots. So when you look at security practices, some companies look at them, for example, say, okay, we have some of the best experts so far in the market, we have some of the best products in our products, we have the best policies and so on. But at the end of the day, you wonder how does this company get hacked? Okay, so how are they following this? Is it like policy? They want to like from vendors, okay, this is how we need to authenticate users. So that's what we are thinking about. So trust means no entities in your organizations, either inside or outside the network to be trusted. So I'm an employee of like a company, so I shouldn't be trusted what's happening in the network. And any other external person I should not be trusted. So what that's the trust, right? So when you look at vendors, the vendors can say, okay, we are okay, like if I not correctly, this is so bad or you like possibly or any other kind, right? So that they okay, once you have this device correctly on your network or on your cloud system, it doesn't work that way, right? Because the problem is you have different bridges, okay? So when you have these companies like Facebook, Microsoft, and so on, sometimes it's not true. Sometimes companies they act like that account. They don't get what to, right? So what they just have to do is just don't share password. That's your own responsibility. But your responsibility is what is regarding the data you have reviewed. So that doesn't get hacked or that doesn't get exposed. Okay? So there's no single when it comes to security. So what does this before when you say okay, this is how you can implement security, okay, look at the firewalls, they allow for safety and comfort from your firewall, your SSH, don't use password, right? Password authentications. So these are different ways, right? To make sure you have all the security. What's the same thing as in most single place? Because at the end of the day, if you can practice a lot of none of the technical tools at all. Okay, so when you look at this now, if you are going to implement this, let's say, one service provider, okay, or maybe like your premise network, you have lots of policy, okay? So you have one time. Is this right? So you have a Cisco firewall that's going to protect your network, you have a Postgres firewall that's going to protect, you have different firewall. So this is very strong. So this is strong because all of these, all these services, right? They block access from outside to your network or from your network outside, right? But when you have this one, you have firewall, you have an AES, you have an endpoint security. So this is right. So what you are trying to do is why you have different levels of security, right? So sometimes you can just plug in a flash drive and then your assignment will say this is virus, right? So you have different types of data, okay? Because from that idea, there's already a situation that says this file is a virus, but you now know. So that's what the things possible. So you need to have different types of security. So sometimes the policy is not about, okay, we are working the latest, the latest security protocols, we've got PSI, PSS, and so on, right? So security is not just about that, okay? So you need to look at different parameters, okay? What zero trust strategy as well is in regards to this. When you ask it's like a user or maybe like a token, right? As it's like account that needs to do something. Let's say this is to push an image to a registry or particularly this has to be like this, right? So that specific user, that token that is to be right? Or maybe so it should just perform that simple. Okay, so not like for example, a service or maybe like a service needs to pull an image from the registry or it needs to be specific and then give that verified access. All because it is free, right? So you don't need to decide that place. So an user. So what's your so the least privilege? That's what's going to assign to your service or what's exactly that. So security is really big. So it's just for me, just about the zero trust security. Nothing much and then so for me that's something. All right, I think I'll go. So you have any questions around?
Thank you very much. Should I give you the profile of law? Should I? Okay, let me give you a spoiler. Try to get 2 hours to be like this. And share our how many like our A W, right? A W, show our please connect with it. I know what I say, okay? Okay, so the next person is going to be wait. All of us that are speaking and studying about I have a lot of questions to give away. Yes. Hello. I'm going to go there. So if I make it, if you're outside and you're going to get and the house starts to fish out, the first I have here. That's it. I'm not going to get Sadiq, I see your work. Who is more speaker? 2 months speaker. Okay. you. If you have Carlos, but that. Please Carlos, but that. So I'm not seeing a lot of trees. I'm not seeing a lot of examples. And I'm collected a lot of stuff. And after the next speaker, I'm going to pick all of them out. And if I see, I'm going to go back home with them. But it looks like I'm going to do that. So let's talk as much as we can. Try to teach a little. You can actually have this level. And it's going to be funny after the speaker. So the speaker that we have up here are degrees, and then how many degrees? Then how many degrees? And then we have the switch, and that's the best. So right now I'm going to introduce Mr. Kabir. Actually, Mr. Kabir is have you ever heard of Zenke? What kind of Zenke? Zenke. Have you ever heard of Zenke? Let me see hands. How of Zenke? Have you ever seen any logo of Zenke? If you have, okay? If you have, you are right. If you have never done that, I think I'm really blaming and you never very emotional. I have these people have a lot of money. Right now, it's a very process. The process of the payments. Therefore, whether the money is there or another person's, they are not doing it. Okay? Anyway, it's not about money, it's about the ocean of knowledge that doesn't mind to share with us. He's very experienced person in the ecosystem as well as in the industry. So let me be a lot of this that we have to listen to me myself. Please, Mr. Gill, welcome to the stage. Let's appreciate Mr. Gill.
This is our first time coming to the community. So how many of you attended last year? How many? So I can say something.
You are not audible.
Simply is a payment gateway. We have a licenses needed to process any amount of about so, well, best to do some kind of solution and it's something that builds in time. your individual your solution for implementation, I think it should be also short. So the community, I think I put the community more and the community group because when we started, we had because we thought of we started in Abuja. It's an environment where we share because we all started in pockets of silos, as everyone feel like it's much more things to do. And at the time, it doesn't just this is the community. So this is the foundation of community. I got this from the most important thing to do is sharing knowledge, how to build a project. So the community experience process with you. If you join you're going to get enormous so conscious challenges. One of this management in 2010, I made a presentation on how to distribute solutions, how to build this something like that. And it was based on my experience when I integrated myself immediately and the traffic. There are 6,000 requests per second, and it was massive because it was the entire nation. And so many people have and I was given my recommendation of how to do that. And on that year, sorry, this year, in June, a friend of mine called me and was taking me for the advice I gave in 2018. I never knew it was going to be helpful. But he is one of the core engineers in the top ranking in one of these financial institutions. I said it the same problem I had in 2030. Benefit of the community that I shared that knowledge helped him to cross that condition. So that's one thing about the community. If you join the community, you can pass the community. And try to always be willing to share knowledge you have. It's not a matter of where the person gets. You should be willing and ready to share what you have with you. And maybe you teach, you learn more. Then okay. So still a bit. I love my problems. So one there's a lot of I don't know Scala programming. Anyone? One, just one, two, three. So in 2020, I wanted to be intelligent, so I started learning Scala. I realized that there was a very human Scala. So I joined the because Scala group of members and connected to Kenya to develop engineering and the Republic of Africa. So I joined the advertising based on recommendation from the community. It was funny. The co-founder of Africa was So anything brings a lot of intensity that is very good. When I left African Studies, around 820 staff. That's mentorship skill made me an icon in that organization. Those empty students are not out the company law. I also met in law because the first group I met, there are two that I organized them. I said, I organized them. So I was experience is different. And therefore, I was learn me. And then growth, mentorship. The community gives you that like habit where you will know your career in no time. So when I came back from Kenya, it's not the same thing. I had a conversation with a friend in the switch. I went in the switch. I had a conversation with two people and I got employment as a senior data analyst for fraud detection. It was still the community. But before that, I had to report a lot of you guys. So when you come to a place like this, don't just take your time. Try to network with people. Don't tell people what you do. Try to understand what other people do. Don't be, I know the past, most of them are immigrants. They always like to be on their but feel free to something. If you see someone who is a good point of view, look up to him and have a conversation. Currently, I say, they have a lot of and I tell you, these people are from the minister. Because anyone who is in the house, is 2 years because he has to manage. And that's the key thing in any organization. No matter how good the person is, if you cannot discuss, if you cannot agree to disagree, or disagree to agree, then there is a problem. And the community teaches you that skill without you even knowing. So try as much as possible to be part of the community. Don't take it as something optional. Okay, it's Devfest. Every November we come, make noise and go back home. That's not it. You should see how you will leverage your skills for the community, and the community should also benefit from it. Next, diversity and inclusion. Where we are heading to at the moment is, my time is up, so I'll spend the next 1 minute and question. Where we are heading to at the moment is we are creating a new country here in Nigeria. We are the community. Because I can tell you for sure, if you're going to, for example, you're going to Lagos, I can give you contacts where you'll be able to reach out to people, and they'll be able to give you all the necessary support you need. And the same thing happens, people from Lagos coming. Who is creating that bridge? It's the community. If a colleague of ours went to Ohio to celebrate there's a private expo, like 3 weeks ago. Generally, we know that as half of that East. But he went there, he was celebrated. That they never knew there are people who are within the community. So you can see that invisible bridge that the community is already creating within Nigeria itself. At the moment, Rwanda are giving us an opportunity to come and invest in Rwanda. What's bringing that? The community. So, diversity is important. You don't know who you meet today, here, where you meet tomorrow. And then the community support. So from here, where do I go to? There are a lot of communities at the moment. I just listed a few. There's aside from GTG, there is a Northern Founders Community where if you're a founder, try and join this community. They are doing a lot, from mentorship to fundraising and that. Then there is Tech Innovators Network. What they are trying to do is, how do we leverage on the services we are providing within ourselves? I am from Kano. I should be able to identify all solution providers within Kano, so that I'll be able to sit on their services, and so there will be this symbiosis relationship. And then digital Kano conference. They are also doing very awesome. This is the founders community. Try and download the 2023 survey. There's tons of information there, especially within the Northern Nigerian ecosystem. And from my research, we realized that the community have been able to help the startups grow year in, year out. 85% of the startups that are within the Node ecosystem are created from the community. And have a look at the number of startups we have currently based on the report, the Northern Founders Community Report 2023. You will see currently we are having about 67 startups. 67 startups. It means that within those 67, each of us should identify one that will solve our problem. We shouldn't be looking outside. That's the whole idea. And final point, be an active member of the community. Try as much as possible to be an active member. I have 2 minutes. And while you're an active member, don't burn bridges, because of the disagreements. That's what the community is. You should agree to disagree and disagree. And I hope this unity says
was very interesting, motivating, educative. Thank you very much. I will not waste time. I'll quickly move on to the next speaker. But before then, let me hold this out. We will be going out for break, lunch, prayer by exactly 2. Okay? By exactly 2. We are going to prayer, break, lunch, rest. And we have to spend 30 to 45 to 40 minutes there. And we will be coming back, including your lunch. And the lunch is going to be, anyway, let me define it. You are going to enjoy it, seriously. Okay, so afterwards, we will have a toddler session. That toddler session is going to last for an hour or less, depending on which breakout session room you join. But we are going to be divided into 4 different rooms. And you join any room you feel like joining. That will take place between 3 to 4, between that hour. Okay? Never, don't dare miss breakout session. It's going to be very, very educative. The next speaker is going to be in person of Ahmed Idris. I will urge Ahmed to please stick the time. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate Ahmed Idris.
Right. Good previous speaker said, right? GDG Periom and GDG Devfest Northwest in Africa. They were the first people that gave me a platform to speak about what I do in 2017. And it's something that I actually truly appreciate. I remember, just like in the front row like this, that time it was a stage at my house. I met a lot of people that have made a lot of business together. I was together with clients with Share. I was together with a lot of other people. And I would say the power of that community, just to buttress your points, the power that community gave me the confidence, it made me realize that I could do it. Because as of then, I was really just experimenting. So please take the community very serious. So going into my talk today, I'm talking about fostering innovation. So we all talk about innovation. We know that innovation leads, to growth, leads to solving problems. So I have a very, very, very part of this innovation that I still remain true to today. In all my ventures that I do, when I look at what makes me the least money, it's probably the one that I'm going for the most. And people like this is very close to my heart, and I feel that that is the very big foundation. So I'm talking about technology education at early years. So at the very foundation, we all know that education is a great level of opportunity, right? It is basically what gives us that platform to try. Our society is built on the schooling system of education. So when we're talking about innovation, my argument has always been, why aren't we taking innovation at that level, at the early years level? So this is just a brief about me, and I'm just going to run past that. I run a company called Steamlet. If you want to know about me, just check that. Thank you for that. And my talk today is really about Nigeria, where every school teaches technology as a subject. I know we put all put camps within all classes, but since early 2016 going into 2017, I have been on this part, and we have worked with a lot of schools, a lot of organizations, a lot of people within the government to bring this to life. So when I say tech as a subject, right, I'm talking about project-based learning. I'm talking about that safe space that allows students and children to be able to innovate. So innovation at our level now, is really, there's a lot of pressure. Right now, let's say 20, 21, 22 years old, we probably have a friend that is doing so well, making a lot of money in the same tech. So there's that pressure, and we want to find quick routes to innovate. So what I'm advocating here and what I've been doing in my life work to date is basically being able to create that platform where innovation is done with zero pressure, where we are able to channel the inner child. Children are innovative. Children are the most purest beings also, and they have this intuition. So how do we guide that intuition into innovative skills that can solve our day-to-day problem? So of course, tech is a superpower. It's not just about the gadget. It's understanding how to be able to solve problems, leveraging technology. And innovation does not start and stop with technology, right? But technology is the biggest tool that we have today to be able to have innovation. So that is why I am a strong advocate of leveraging technology. So I'm going to say this, if you're a parent or even a brother or sister, if your younger ones come home today and they say that daddy or mommy or papa or mama or my sister, I'm dropping mathematics for this session, I'm not doing it next year, what will be your reaction? Your reaction will be like, no, you must do that because that is or if you're going to do that with English language. So that is the level that we are trying to bring technology to as a subject, where you learn it every single day in school. Because today, even if you know the Someone that knows how to use technology skills, and you that knows technology skills, is at a better advantage to you than someone. So how do we invite that into our schooling curriculum? So a lot of schools have taken initiative based on the work that we're doing around the country. We have different schools that have implied the tech as a subject in their schools. In fact, we as a company only work with schools that share into this vision. And no matter how much money you pay off, but if it's going to be a club, because we believe tech should not be a club. Tech has to be what you learn every day. So we have different success stories. And that is only something about the innovation of the students, right? The motivation behind it is so pure. Like we are really trying to solve the most basic and local problems to them, and that is how innovation starts. And that is how one day we can be able to solve our greatest challenges, right, in the society. So challenges and opportunities, right? We as a company, we have done a lot, but then I just realized that if in Kano alone we have 1,000 more STEM ledgers, we are still not going to solve that problem. So which means we need a community approach, we need a governmental approach, right? And this made me to realize we need to bring government into the equation. So we wrote to the government, we engaged government, especially the Ministry of Education, we engaged them and then we realized there wasn't a lot to be done there. So we changed our approach, we approached themselves, and we did conversations back and forth. And as a result of the idea of those things that people in the private sector, I was among the people that wrote to the national mission. And the national mission Periom was signed by the government in July 2023. And right now, the government is having to make international literacy policy. So what is that? It is a policy at its basic, which is literacy, as identified which boxes on literacy areas and three competency levels. So these are just so expand on resources, right? So I want to talk about a few things. Schools in every single state of the country and is as a subject. UNDP is invested 240 million naira per state. For the faculty to state that for the facilitators that will go and teach that in the schools, pay 100,000 naira per teacher to teach us how to do. So that is another opportunity as well. So it's something that you can apply however you have to done your degree and finish your NYSC. Fortunately, that is from NDP, not us, but please, if you're still interested, reach out and maybe if the process is taken up and something you might decide to create a category for people that have not taken that. Yes, we launched called My Learning Friend in the Northeast, predominantly in Maiduguri, in Adamawa, and this is to be able to reach some accelerated learning platform. Students have had knowledge gaps in their educational journey, and it is very, very exciting. So this success stories, students experiencing coding and robotics. So actually, doesn't really as education, but we only use technology to further that education and we revive all those skills. It's not just about coding. That's sad. We don't take anything away. Today, please go and read the National Digital Literacy Framework. Make yourself, it's a very, it's still a 20-page document and it's very, so the question is now, do you multiply millions, right? So I don't have the answer, so we're doing what we can. We're very, very good, so a lot of, suggestions or if anybody is doing something within this space, please, we're very, very happy to follow. And this is the benefit for us is to scale innovation. So, and the idea of scale is not when people are in universities or when they have finished university. The idea of scale is being able to channel that innovation and project as subjects. So let's make this happen. And the call to action today is reach out the gathers of information learned about technology. This can happen on leveraging the policy and about the initiative ecosystem. A challenge to Devfest. I'm happy to see some students here. What I would like to see, I want to see a conversation honestly. The Devfest can happen as students try to observe that would actually be very, very fantastic. We would like to see I think that's brings me. Thank you very much.
I forgot to mention the word Stimulate, which is his company. I knew when Stimulate started. I could remember that. But I'm very impressed when I see this record-breaking number that they trained more than 100,000 big school students on robotics and stuff like that. Let's appreciate Stimulate for all of this. Okay. Okay, so our next set of speakers, the immediate next speaker is going to our presenter. I want to be our sponsors. Not, of course, let me use this opportunity to recognize all our sponsors. The first one is Cyron, the second is the Same Pay, and then the Interswitch, which is the one that is coming to the stage right now. Of course, we will not forget Google. That's the mother of all. They said, I think it is even Stephen who mentioned that Google is like a mountain. You can get on top of it, but you cannot move it. So please join me as I welcome Elizabeth from Interswitch. This person traveled all the way from Devfest Lagos, and then yesterday to Devfest Abuja, and today at Devfest Kano. Let us appreciate Elizabeth. Of course, she looked tired, you know she should be tired. Just forgive the situation.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Very happily, like, pronounce it properly. Inaomi. You should respond now. Yes, okay, so just before I get started, thank you. I'm actually very tired, and so my flight was moved from 5:30 p.m. to 1:10 this morning, and I've been trying not to press there. So please, you bear with me. I'm going to be as calm as possible, talking to someone, but I'll try my best. So before I continue, before I get started, do we have anybody here that has used Okay, so if you have just come out, just one person and tell us the products that you use actually. We have Twitter, we have APIs, we have KDirect, we have Pay-Token, we have different products. Nobody else is never products. Let's come out. I don't know, I can't speak out. Yes, please. Okay. Retailer app or the one for business for payments, pay for flights. Okay, awesome. All right, thank you for using Pixel. Thank you. Okay, so I usually love my sessions to be as interactive as possible, and I think I am more excited that I can see women in the house. Hi, ladies. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, so this is me. I'm sure you'll be wondering why I put ladies first of all, and that's because I am a very big advocate for women in tech. We know that let's say like 25 years back, we had very few women, and currently I'm one of those women that is consistently trying to see that we get more women in the tech space. So this is me, and I'm going up to my side. So currently, I mean now, you would agree with me that technology has made things very similar to us, and especially with payments, right? You can do so many transactions online. And I don't know if anybody here uses APIs. Say pay, you were saying something about payments, and I was whispering to the next speaker. I said you had to start using my company's products APIs. That's if you don't use it. Also, thank you very much. Yes. So I'm talking about our APIs and how it has played a crucial role in payment. Developers here have built payment products. Raise your hands now. Let me know that I'm with my people. Okay, great. Yeah. So for our current APIs, we have various features and unique selling points. So for people who have been using this product, yeah, some of these features are like things that you've known for some time now, right? But last year, we launched some new features which is now more beneficial to developers. One of it is the developer community that was launched last year, and we are currently 4,000 plus community members. So this community was launched to foster collaboration among developers. Oh my God, snap! I forgot to do something. So there's a paper that has a barcode. I think I left it. I'll need volunteers to please help me pass it around. The barcode gets to you, just scan it to join the community. So I need volunteers running. Any volunteers like for to help me pass. This can come out, come and help. Please, anybody actually, this is a community. You just take one and I mean, no, so if you know it's one alone. So once you're done scanning, you pass it to the next person. Please, everybody should scan the barcode. Thank you. So on that community platform, we have various training sessions for developers on how to use our various products. Please, you do not have to be rowdy. Let's just do it carefully. And yes, please, thank you. Okay. So these are the benefits for developers. We have rapid development and quality assurance and increased innovation. So there's something currently. Please, one house. Thank you. So there's something currently about using this product, and it is this, right? So if we have in the community today, if we have a startup that they work on your health, and we have a startup that what they focus on is transportation. Then we have a startup that focuses on EdTech for children. The community brings these three startups together to make them work together to reach out to more customers, right? So this is why you should also join this community. Because if you feel like you have something that you are working on or something that you worked on and you think you want us to support or collaborate with you, we most definitely do that with you as well. Okay, so benefits of business. I just prepared one. Then for costing, those of us that have tried different APIs, of course, you would agree with me that our prices are literally one of the big. So you should actually try it out. I feel like some persons don't know what APIs are. Am I right? I do. So can anybody come and tell us what APIs are? Please come out. Please come in and come out. Your name and please come.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anike Mekelubina, also known as Misha. Okay. API is short for Application Programming Interfaces. It's a means for you to access services or functions already built by other people or other services. So, for instance, you could use a payments API in your web application, so you wouldn't have to go around building the whole payment structure yourself. You could tap in or use the services of an already established payment structure like InterSwitch in your web application through an API. That's an application programming interface. So that's basic.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so he said that, but let me just give a scenario. So let's say my name is Bakar and I'm trying to give a platform for payments for ZenPay, right? And I know that they have some licenses or some infrastructure. I cannot directly access these things. So for me to be able to build this product, I would use this API to make sure that I get them. So they could also called middlemen as well. Alright. So for you to get started, for those of us that feel lost, you can just visit this link to check out what we have there. And yes, one of the reasons why we actually decided to sponsor Devfest in the North, this is a very interesting part, and I think everybody should listen at this point. One of the reasons why we decided to sponsor Devfest in the North is because we are looking to recruit talents from the northern part of Nigeria. And currently, the talents that we are seeking to recruit are DevOps talents. Do we have DevOps engineers in the house? Anybody? Okay, just one. Any other person? Okay, great. Yeah, this is our staff. And yeah, so if you feel like you are qualified for this role, please feel free to take this picture to be sure that you have one of these stars before you reach out to me, please. Thank you. Then we have over 50 million plus API calls per day. We have 1 billion plus transaction processed daily. We have 5,000 plus virtual machines running to transact, to make this transactions happen. We have 300 plus deployment pipelines and 2.5 billion plus events per day. I mean, these numbers are actually very big. So the reason why I added this numbers to my slides after this start is so that if you know that you want to work with us, you will see how big we are. So that when they are coming in to work very thorough. Because if you okay, these are the various account rules currently. You can also snap it. And the developer community, I spoke about it already, decided the benefits of joining the developer community. So during the breakout, there will be a demo that I will be taking. And the community is that our plans. Also, one of the perks of joining the community is that currently we've partnered with some companies to give out free courses to community members. That's companies like this is cool. So if you feel like you want to kickstart such and businesses, we are also focused on saying that people get started in the right career path. Ibrahim, I see you, don't worry. Around you. Okay. Also, we have this referral program where you can earn 5% for transactions of a company that you refer to. Let's say I refer ZenPay to use my company's product APIs and they transact as much as 20 billion naira per month for 5 years. I think it's capped at something, but yes, you get that particular percentage. So you could actually make a lot of money while just sitting down and referring people. Then you can follow us on social media. And for those of us who cannot scan the barcode, there is this link where you can just type on your browser right now. There's this link, so please type the link and just join the community. Plus, people with 60 kg worth of branded and phosphate. And I do not want to carry them back with me to Lagos because it's a bit too heavy. But before you can have those branded things, you have to have joined the community first of all. So before you can come and have a share with me, please do well to join this community library.
Well, I love the last word. Now, thank you. Still late here, Ahmed presented a job opportunity. The wise ones among us understood that. And you should find a way to connect with them and see where you can fit in. This gentle lady presented a job opportunity with the speech. I believe they definitely have a place for you if you fit into their technology stack. Who else? Opportunities everywhere. This happens only in tech. We don't have much time. I will ask the next speaker to stick to the time. Let me welcome on board Mr. Yahya, the designer. A round of applause for Mr. Yahya, please.
Hello. I didn't guys in the house where you like please send to Wednesday. Don't the developers are not taking so much space with all their jargon. Okay, so I think for today, so we'll be looking at how design can actually impact with the African context, that is meeting the need of local communities. So what I mean here is, from the previous speakers, even though I don't understand in-depthly how APIs work, how the software works in the back end and stuff like that. I think those are very technical. But then, I think this should resonate with everyone here. So when we look at the African, ecosystem as a whole, when it comes to design, is the penetration of mobile phones have actually pushed us to the way we do our transactions today, be it the feature phones like the Nokia we used during the GSM era, or Android phones, Symbian, whatever it is. So all those things have kind of put us in a very good, scenario whereby a typical, man and grandpa in the village how can they have access to, let's say, loans or credit, for example? Yeah, so it could be loans, commerce, education, telecom, banking, and stuff like that. So, as developers, as product managers, as designers, how do we bring those technology, right, close or into those local communities and areas? So we need to understand that, okay, to be able to make sure that users, that means the local community could be able to access technology, we need to put into consideration what are the connectivity challenges. In rural areas whereby the internet latency or connectivity is very low, when you're building a product to serve that particular environment, you need to consider that, hey, these guys are not having a very good internet connection. So how do we do that? Let me give us a typical scenario. I was looking to join, a design team as here in Africa. So we're building a more of like a data factory for vaccinations. And that particular software is to be deployed on local communities to collect data on vaccinated patients. So now, how will we do that in such a way that we could be able to sync the data on, as a software as a whole, maybe looking at the connectivity at that point. So an internal offline system was built, which, from the designs, what you could be able to see is that you could take in data, when you take those data offline, and when you are in a place where the internet connectivity, you could just push in all the data and they will now sync. So this is just one part of when you are designing a product, you put that into consideration for local communities. So we have ease and speed, and I think we'll look at some case studies. Ease and speed is very, very necessary when you're building any product for local communities. Localized user needs. We understand that MTN is the father of local needs. Even their ads in Kano are different from their ads in Lagos or in any other part of Nigeria. And when you're calling the customer care, they will ask you, then or something like that. Or if you want to speak in English, press 2. If you want to speak in Yoruba, press 3. These are just localization in the context of putting the local community into your design or reaching out to them as a whole. So if you build the best software in English and the local man could not be able to use it in his own locality, in his own language, then about 70% of the markets are mostly the local community. We'll look at the case study here also. So we have, which is very important. We need to, because now we're dealing with people, how do you get to build that trust into your own? And the last part is like language and diversity, which I made mention. So with the language and diversity now is we have like the 3 major languages in Nigeria, mostly Yoruba, and other more than, I think it's more than 200 or 300 languages, which I don't have a count on my head with them. But then for the major languages, how do you put your progress into that particular line? So let's look at some case studies. First is Twitter money. So when Twitter money came in, I think that was 2 years ago, 3 years, I forgot. So I find it very amazing because with the mobile money now, you find traders in market looking for just small loans, and the federal government was able to use telecoms to be able to distribute billions of nairas to small businesses or petty businesses. And that scenario is just with the use of USSD, and you could be able to go to a POS machine and withdraw that money. So that's like a use case when it comes to putting up mobile money at the forefront. So like for MTN, personally for me, I always say this, MTN have captured the market when it comes to knowing our needs. Anywhere you go within the groups and groups of small towns, at least they have a SIM card that is MTN based, or XL, or let's say it's or MTN, like it's like almost grandpa. So what they decided to do also is to localize the languages. If you decided to make your phone into Hausa, fine. So for future phones like non-Nokias, they partner with the manufacturers to be able to make the settings of the language to like the three major languages, so that when they're sending you an SMS, you're receiving it in Hausa. If they're sending you an SMS, maybe for Yoruba, then you connect it to Yoruba, stuff like that. So also the cluster of tech in Nigeria, sorry, in African context as a whole, taking Nigeria as the tech hub or the Silicon Valley of going to that particular again, you have countries like Kenya, if you know M-Pesa, for those who understand a lot of mobile money, M-Pesa was one of the major mobile money in. So I think, let's come to this money point. I know everyone must have those money points before you come there. I used it this morning. So I find it very fascinating to put in this context that actually push their QS from all development communities and have agents and understanding the needs of the market and reaching out because they know that they are missing a lot of chances from people who don't have access to money. So we have also OP. I love OP very much. I'm not advocating for them. Anywhere you see quality products, you see speed, you want to advocate. I think OP have done something very good in terms of viral marketing. I myself have forgotten how many times I've told people to use OP. They're not paying me, but then I just feel like it's safer for me to use OP and send someone money. So I think Periom box, which I was part of the design team then, so we were able to disseminate about 360 video content to primary school children. Without internet connectivity, it's just a download of a USB. So what I'm going to say in conclusion is, as a designer, as a developer, as a project manager, whatever it is, or whatever company you're building, as far as you're going to touch the development communities, you need to put into consideration of the internet connectivity, speed, building trust. So that's it for basically. So I could say Nambudi, I could say Yankee, I could say Dalu, I could say Asante. So this is just African.
Okay, thank you, Madam Yaya. Thanks a lot for the impressive presentation. Our next presenter is going to be Mr. B. And Mr. B is going to be very. Anyway, Mr. B is the fourth. Is what Mr. B and the gentleman is still here. Let's appreciate it.
We are going to discuss about how you can position your product how you can your product loaded of long organizations. What you can see here in this picture, this you just think what's missing this picture is trying to say. Just take a clear look at this. Then the parts I know unacceptance. Yeah. Unacceptance. Unacceptance. Yeah, you see the bulb is going to the candles. Because the candle, the bulb is going to take their markets because of tradition, fear, and lobbying. That's what's happening in the free space. When you say free, people look at crypto. So the free is beyond crypto. Web have so many details to unpack, but the time, for those of us that have products, these are the list of things that we need to understand before transitioning our product to a two product to a three. We need to have defined goal. It's very important. What you can see here, a lot of people don't even understand what Web3 is. Web3 is beyond blockchain. Blockchain is just the engine. Blockchain is just the engine. We started from Web1, where static content are being put on the internet. You cannot even do anything. You just only do the read and then leave. Then we move to Web2, where you can be able to manipulate. You can be able to manipulate the content through all sorts of methods. But in Web3, the freedom, you have freedom to do. The data belongs to the customer. So most of these giant companies are afraid of Web3 because the data is going to belong to the customer, not Google. Can't you imagine when you log into the Facebook and your computer is a complete node, you have access to all the data of Facebook on your computer. That's what people are afraid. How many of us here have wallets, Era wallets? You see very few because the bigger people don't want the government to track how our funds are being moved. Web3 is beyond the crypto aspect. Web3 is the technologies. Additional is another move from Web2 to Web3. From Web2 to Web3. In Web3, you have privacy of your data, peer-to-peer communications. You can create digital assets. You can protect your data. The Nigerian government has recently launched the national policy on blockchain. Yes, which comprises of components, harmonizing our digital identity framework. Because when you go to bank, ask your BVN name, what it is. Blockchain is out there to solve that. So if we're free, don't be afraid. Whatever somebody talk about Web3 is beyond the crypto. Beyond the crypto. It's beyond the crypto. About privacy, freedom, peer-to-peer communication. These things are all high ends, and most of the fintech companies are now plugging into the Web3 to protect the data of their users. The wise one are looking at that, not looking at the aspect of the financial aspect, how they can be able to protect the data of their users. So, for you to really transition your adult to Web3, you need to know what you want to do. You need to define a particular goal to ensure that there is no problem. Do you want the data of your user? Do you want your data to have control over it? Do you want the data to be decentralized? Do you want the user to be able to do whatsoever they want within the platform? You have a KYC problem. So make sure you define your goal. Make sure you define your goal. Don't just because I say blockchain, you move on. Talk about Web3, you move and say you want to move your products to Web3. Please define your goal. What's why you need to transition? Then after you do that, you look at you identify the integration points. The integration points here, all the noise around Web3, it revolves around tokenization. Asset can be tokenized. A lot of packs of grains and what have you are being dumped as what people call the wallets. Those agricultural products, if they can be tokenized and put on blockchain, they can be traded. They can be traded around the globe. Everyone who needs to redeem this, the goods will go to the balloon and take it. The idea in the balloon is a lot of times rain and what to be and making of if the farmers in those states can be tokenized into real assets. Now people are even providing their laptops, the space. If you have the 1 terabyte, you can provide some space using the blockchain stuff. These are key components: tokenization, decentralized governance, data ownership, data stuff. These are key areas that you need to look at to see how you can leverage your products into the Web3 spaces. People, whenever you see Web3 or blockchain, people look at it from the crypto aspect. I'm not here to talk a disclaimer, I'm not here to talk about crypto. I am not an advocate of crypto. I'm talking about how you can tokenize great assets, how you can tokenize certificates. Federal state government, when they made a lot of, they wanted to remove the ghost worker from their educational system. They request for the certificate of completion and they could not even, most of the school turned down. But if those certificates are ready to organize and then put on change, the government can easily verify. So look for integration, then you select the blockchain platform that needs. We have a lot of blockchain platforms. There are two most components, one that are open. We have one called permission and permissionless blockchain. Permissionless blockchain will allow users to do whatever you want to have the stuff. So you select the blockchain you want, then you build your smart contract. What there is an example of smart contract. Smart contract is just written to automate things to make life easier on the blockchain. Once you do that, you integrate because you need the wallet to even, if we are not interested in the stuff, then you educate the user, you onboard. We have regulation on compliance. Nigerian government has compliance stuff, so you need to ensure you do that. And we are probably to announce a cohort because we find that our people are not building on blockchain. Because last 2 years ago, I joined Media Protocol where I distribute a lot of funds across the globe to build. But here in Africa, we don't have people building real product on Web3 space. So this is a great opportunity. I hereby announce the launch of our incubations and it will move around Web3 and cybersecurity. So feel free, join the cohort. If you can get a working product, I bet you I can be able to support you with 20 million. Yes, if you can come up with a good business, we will invest and then you build it for free. We will invest in that. So make sure that you join. Make sure you join and come up with a product, a real use case product, and we are going to share panel with modern technology in December, and we are working. We have secured a partnership with the National Science Foundation from the US. We are working on a project to disseminate the information of how you can use your brain. We want to take it to the classroom. Thank you very much.
It seems the audience are more interested in this topic because of the money part. You know, directly you are going to. Anyway, I hope you can still see another job opportunity, right? It is job opportunities everywhere. Our next presenter, which is going to be second to the last, before we go to break, seller, launch, breakout session, is going to be our next sponsor. Sorry, our other sponsor, and new partner, which is Sayo. I'm not going to say a lot, they are going to speak for themselves, and I believe. Anyway, one thing about them is that they talk about a new programming language, and they told me one person that it's going to be outside. I'm still waiting to see how that is going to work. Let's appreciate them.
Okay. I think everyone should stand up, let us preach. This looks like another technical. We need some energy from you guys.
This has been hectic. Check out my as we are checking our body plan, I believe there are several programs here in China, Europe, and if you are confident about yourself, this is a program, this is a course here from a program.
Thank you. I think everyone should say
Yeah, you can say that. Can anyone please tell me what this is? I gave you a tip. It's a code snippet from programming language. Should I tell you the name of the programming language? Excuse my French, but it's called brain fuck. It was specifically created to confuse you and make you think you're dumb and not special. of this? Can someone read this? Let me read it out. Ba shekara daidai yake da ashirin. Ba shin ɗan ƙasa ne daidai yake da ƙarya. Idan shekara ya fi ko yana daidai da 18. Kuma shin ɗan ƙasa ne nuna za ka iya zaɓe.
Okay, I see a lot of you guys are impressed, but to be honest, I am very skeptical. What is this? Is this a real thing? Is this a real programming language?
Yeah, I know you're thinking it's pseudocode. It's not a fake code. It's a real programming language, compilable, interpretable, transpilable, and you can build a production application with it.
Okay. I see you are getting so excited. Yeah, it's a programming language, it can do all that. But why would I need JavaScript compile to just use this? Why? It doesn't make any sense.
Let's take a bit of a roundabout. Do you know Scratch? Everyone here knows Scratch, right? There are over 700 children and beginners using Scratch to program. You're saying, why should you learn Python, C#, Java, Go, etc.? Why should you use this native language-based programming language, right? Well, would you use Scratch to build a production application? Do you accept the fact that Scratch helps over 700,000 people to learn how to program?
Of course.
And that's it here.
So, now that you have said that, I was wondering at a place called Stamina, and they used to teach kids how to program. So there's usually two groups of kids, those that speak English, and the other group of kids, they don't used to understand English.
Yeah.
So and it's a real struggle to teach them the concept of the programming language, they don't have the basics. And you can say that everybody like that, this is something they don't understand it, but make no mistake, in other concepts that are visual and auditory, they have the same understanding with the other kids that can understand English. So clearly it's a language barrier. It's not intelligent barrier, it's what language barrier.
And in order to solve this problem, we at Spiral Technologies introduced you to Periom script.
So last week I was in Jigawa, I came out in Jigawa, and one of my passions is to create a programming language. And I was there, the next day was there introduced, and they said they created a programming language. That's just what I want to do. So I think it's about the mission. I get too excited, I let them to start talking, engineer,
this programming language is the CEO and founder of Spiral Technologies. He's an enterprise software developer, and his name is Engineer Randu Aliyu. He's popularly known as Rabado. And also,
who are, let's ask this answer. My name is Bukara, I'm the Prince. I was remotely at a company of Mama. It's a finance compliance in code, and my colleague.
My name is Umar Ahmed Aliyu, all the way from Chief. I'm the founder of Hopkins, a software engineer at Spiral Technologies and Icon.
So what this means is, we are definitely this is an opposite. I'm not in the company, we are different people, but still we can work on the same thing, the same mission. So, you know, what is bias?
So I'll start by explaining why we chose the name BioScript. As the name implies, BioScript is a replica of JavaScript, but in Hausa language. And the choice to start JavaScript, meaning our choice to transpile Hausa code into JavaScript, instead of Java or C# or any other language is because JavaScript is popular and every beginner and learner starts with it.
Make no mistake, this is what Java. This is a real programming language, just like Outcast before. It does what the parsing, the scanning, all this stuff, just like other real programming language. Don't think this is a Java or anything. No, it's a real programming language.
Before we go forward, I know most of you are interested about the name Via script. Via is a piece of the name Viaja. And Viaja is a historical thing and so we decided to kind of shorten it and mix it with script so as to produce a compound name, which is Via script.
So I talk about the file extension is what? Your PS via script.
Before anyone says bullshit.
Yeah.
Use via script. So you can start creating the memes.
So right now the focus of the language is mainly backend. That's the backend framework. There will be a demo section after where a pre-wallet was built using the language, and it will be there after the session. So please, this language is for the community. He has made the effort to make it, but what the other way to do is what we have to form a collective effort and not contribute. It's an open source project as you see at the front. The different company, they are from the different company, you can go and contribute. This is the NPL link. We want to make what syntax highlighted CII and many other things. It's limited right now, but still, this is what we got.
Yeah. And so if you want to get started, like see how the language works in action, we have built like a demo application, which is like a wallet. It's called Tron Wallet. Install my name and use it there. So this is the GitHub link. As you can see, I can't really have this. Something /virus and you can clone it, you can go through it. The previous link shared has instructions on how to install all the packages that you need, how to link it and stuff like that. And as he said, the project is in its nascent stage, meaning the very beginning. And there are a lot of features that are not there, but the main key features of JavaScript are there. You can build even an express server using house keywords and work as maybe later have a demo. You'll see how we build a backend server that communicates with the database and serves our wallet. And we have a very short amount of time. I would really like to talk more about this because I didn't realize it was so good until people started clapping, and I like to paint. But we have to go okay. So if you have any
this is for the community. In other way, we have to be involved. So it was the truth is that I'm impressed. I'm impressed, right? Let us give them another round. The interesting thing is that our podcast stations is going to contain, or is going to be divided into 3 rooms. The first one, for the speech, if you want to understand the language, technology, and how to integrate it, you join them. The other one is, of course, the side one. And after the last speaker for now, I'm going to unveil the remaining 2 breakout rooms, inshallah. But our last speaker for this session is going to be the very last
The next speaker for now is going to be the person of course, she's a gentle lady, Harira Wakil, a very new face in the state ecosystem. Very new face in the state ecosystem.
I know my time will be very short, and looking forward, I hope this kind of gathering and opportunity to speak will be given to let it be possible. Thank you. So before I start my presentation, I want to talk about Zena's presentation whereby she talks about language content. I think we need to look more into engaging young persons that are very active and willing to bring changes to the community with no access to formal education, because we have a lot of them in our communities, and due to the fact they have less access to formal education, we tend not to engage them as we should. So my presentation will be on breaking this glass, the importance of women in the ICT industry. I believe most of the thinking with this equation of this particular topic. As somebody who comes from the policy background, space, I tend to talk more on opportunities, space, and ensuring that this is well safe for women to participate. Next slide. Okay, the impact of women in the ICT industry refer to various challenges that women face in advancing their careers and achieving leadership positions in the field of information and communication technology. I think this particular should not be an exception. Looking at the number of male speakers that we have to the female speakers, at some point I was kind of, am I really safe? Okay, the term asking is symbolizes invisible barriers that prevent women from reaching higher level of professional success and influence. I work more with the community and I work more with women in the community. I can tell how women are being marginalized even from our homes because of stereotyping. There are so many things that women tend not to have opportunity to participate in because they are women, because of the issue of stereotyping that takes place in our homes, that they cannot do a particular, cannot study a particular course because that course is seen as a man-made, as a man course. Next slide. Okay. Yeah, next slide. The topic emphasizes the significance of women participation and representation in the ICT industry. It highlights the need for gender equality, diversity, and inclusion in the workspace. Even in our workspace, we that come from the civil society background are working towards ensuring advocating for more women in the space. We still have less women to participate in the space. Why? Because there is issue of mentoring, there is issue of giving support to women. In most cases, even when women are given the opportunity to participate, you hardly see them in an input in the table. At some point, women, you'll be seeing how women are limited to report taking, not taking shampoos, this and that. So we need to have more women to give input at the table. Or rather, if the space is not given to us, we can work on creating our content. Next slide.
make software that we design to be user-friendly for persons living with disability. So I was when I agreed on that idea, so I started writing. Then I began to question myself. Are these softwares that we're using, are they user-friendly for people living with disability? Can a blind person be able to use the software that we are creating? So most of the community work I based my proposal on is on how we can see possible ways of having more like building more many other softwares or rebranding our software so that it will entertain people living with disability so that not to marginalize them. Next slide. Addressing the importance of women in their space. First of all, I would like to talk on diverse perspectives. Women bring fresh ideas, fresh set of ideas, experience, and viewpoints to the table. This diversity fosters innovation and creativity. A lot of people tend to demean women. A lot of people tend to think because of the same that it's a matter of global news. But these women are doing a lot of things. If opportunity is given to women, I believe they will bring about more innovative. I'm sorry to say more than women because we have more ideas and have a possible way of creating solutions to so many things. Secondly is empowering innovation. Gender diversity in the ICT industry fuels innovation. When women are given equal opportunity to do better, I think we will even do more because looking at the things that women do at home, so women is equal to the tax of so a lot of organizations are working toward bridging gender digital divide or gender digital marginalization. So it's a work toward bridging gender digital marginalization. Maybe using the approach of cash them young approach. So right from the grassroots level we can be able to mentor and equip young persons, young women to in order to bridge the gap. Inspiring future generations. So represent future generations. Young women, since young women succeeded in ICT industry, it's inspire them to pursue their passion fairs. So if we can like what do you call it? If we can keep inspiring, if we can keep inspiring the younger generation, I think they will have the mind of yes, I also want to be part of this thing. Building an inclusive future. So this has to do with promoting gender diversity, maybe through supporting policies, through talking about policies, through bringing in new policies that will support women to participate in the ICT industry. Let's take it. Okay, so these are some challenges that women face. Number one is gender bias. Gender bias is ongoing in most of our communities, our organizations, in our schools, and all of that. Lack of representation. At some point, we lack representation, not because we don't have the women on ground, it's because these women are not given the opportunity to come out and participate. Equal pay. This will really women intake face disparities compared to men. So sometimes even the payment system is not favorable for women because maybe as I'm a developer or I'm a software engineer who I don't know things in the case, and you can see some of the time the people that are giving the women like opportunities to do something. The payment is not sometimes good for women. This issue needs to be addressed also. Okay, lack of support and mentorship. A lot of our women need mentorship to be able to bring changes in this space. But the work-life balance, balancing career and personal life can be challenging for women in the tech industry, as the demanding nature of work can lead to long hours and high pressure environments. Even this is another challenge that women face in the tech space. Sorry. What can we do to achieve that? These are some of the things that I believe we can do to achieve this. Promote and education, foster inclusive work environment, advocate for policy changes, provide mentorship and support, celebrate and able to bring more women and to support more women in the ICT industry, which is about promoting digital literacy, foster inclusive tech environment, and the call for equal payment systems, support women entrepreneurs, and all of that. So, like my time is very short, and I have to run this now. So, overall, breaking the glass ceiling in the ICT industry is crucial for promoting gender equality, fostering innovation, and building more incentive, inclusive, and equitable future. All. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was great. I would like to appreciate everybody here for your presence. This is not a closing remarks. Okay? We'll be going for break, lunch, and prayer. But this is how it's going to happen. Okay? When others are going to appreciate, or wrestling, doing whatever, if you are not, you have around. Okay? After everybody pray, we're coming back here because this is where I suggest the food is going to be served. Okay, but before then, while they serve, we have entertaining activities. A lot of us wish I know but like a lot of us give out. So we are coming back here while you are taking your lunch, we get some entertainment, and as soon as we are done, break out to our respective session rooms. As I announced, the first room is going to be for the switch, the second room is going to be for sidewalk. I'm sure by now these rooms are filled already. The third one is going to be a WTM station, a special WTM station, which I believe is going to be filled by most of the women. Yet, if you feel like you dual sex guy, I don't know all those things. The last one is going to be okay, my attention is because that it is already time to let us go for prayer, take a break, and come back here for lunch and some entertainment, and then to break down the respective. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for the official 2023.
Next slide, everybody.